must realize you are doomed.
Stranger Things Season 4, Volume 2, what an ending! And we're here to discuss and review the ending of Stranger Things Season 4. And we're going to decide, was this the best season so far? Well, let's find out. Rich, how's it going, buddy?
Going good. How about you, man?
I'm pretty good. You know, we just both watched Stranger Things Season 4, the finale, Volume 2. You know, I watched episode I watched episode 7, I think it was. Was it 7?
No.
7, yeah.
7?
Watched episode 7. I actually watched it late, not Friday night. I didn't watch it Friday night. I watched it the day after. It was late. I watched it. It was like midnight, quarter to 1, maybe I started watching it. I only watched these 2 last episodes. So I watched the 7th episode, and the 8th episode. I clicked on it. It said 2 hours and 22 minutes. I got loud. I said, holy moly, are you kidding me? I stopped right then and there, and I said, I'll finish this tomorrow when I wake up.
It's a whole damn movie.
Huh?
That's a whole damn movie.
Man, that's a whole damn movie, just the last episode. But here we are. We're going to review what we just saw. All right, let's get into it. I know people want to get into the beef of it, you know, the big beefy part of it. And that was the showdown of the year. You know, we got 11 versus Vecna. What were your thoughts on that fight?
I mean, it was awesome. It was everything I expected. I like whenever 11 went up to him and said, you know, I'm gonna kill you again. And he goes, "Oh, is that what you did?" And then he just like manhandles her for like the very beginning part. So right away you thought she was gonna like put up a way bigger fight than she did in the first half or the first part of it. But that fight was definitely everything I expected. I didn't expect it just to be 11. I thought it was going to be like a group effort, which it really was with the Robin, Nancy, and Steve, with all them helping out and everything. So it was nice seeing like it as like a group effort. So I really enjoyed that fight.
Man, when I see them finally gonna go at it, you know, 11's there, you know, in the snowball area, you know, the gymnasium where they had it.
Yeah.
And they're starting to go at it. I was like, oh man, I was literally eating popcorn. I had some microwave popcorn, folks. I ain't gonna lie. I had some popcorn. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Here we go. I was let down. I'm not gonna lie to you, folks. I was let down. This battle did not do it for me. It was one push there. The other one did another push. It was like the actual fighting or them going at it didn't do it for me whatsoever. It was pretty lame. If you guys go really look at it, it was lame. I mean, come on. It was just a force push each of them were doing, and that was it. And it was only just a few times. I didn't care for it whatsoever. I really thought they dropped the ball on that one. Now I know people are going to say, well, this is just a pre-warm-up for the big finale in season 5 because the way they left it. I don't give a damn. They could have showed us more than what they did. That fight was so lame to me. I was so disappointed. I could not believe that was it for me.
You didn't like the fact that they like teamed up though? It wasn't just 11. Whenever they threw those Molotov cocktails on him and everything, it was like a group effort.
Was so lame. Like you're telling me he's just there in their trends and he didn't feel their presence whatsoever, knowing that they're there at all.
Well, I mean, he was pretty focused on 11.
Come on, I can't. They were stepping on his dreadlocks. Really, he didn't feel that on his testicles. Come on, man. Really.
It's the hive mind, man.
Oh my god. It failed on so many points for me on what this finale was. I was so hyped. Maybe that's my problem. I was so hyped and I'm expecting so many things, and they just wet the bed for me on this whole. We'll get into it. I know people are probably at the total opposites. I know people love this season. It was going great for me. I just feel like they dropped the ball for me. They dropped the ball so hard. Well, that was the fighting part between 11 and the group and everything. But let's get into, we started earlier. How did you like? Let's see how I want to say this. How did you like the storylines? Like them getting together and having a plan to go get Vecna. Did you like all that stuff that was happening? How they went into the Upside Down world, the group from Hawkins into Upside Down one. They had a plan. Did you like all
Yeah,
that
I
kind
liked
of work together?
how they split up. Their plan was to split up. So it was what Max, Lucas, and his sister. They were in the real world, right?
Right.
And then the other three were they went into the upside down, or I think it was more than three. What am I thinking? But the rest of them went to the upside down. So I like their plan of communicating through like the lights and everything. How they would communicate before. I like that whole thing. So
Yeah, I'll give them credit. I'm not roasting the whole episodes or whatever, but yeah, I totally agree. I liked how they all we had a plan, actual plan going through, and it looked like it was going to work. Some of the stuff it just didn't was. I just don't know how Vecna did not feel their presence whatsoever. That's just dawning to me right now about it. Especially with Nancy and Steve and Robin going in there looking for him in that house. It's just so hard for me to believe he did not notice, sense anything what was going on in his world. I thought that was kind of silly. And at this, but I liked how they did the plan. How everybody, Lucas and Max were together with his sister Erica. You
yeah.
know, let's get into Dustin and Eddie. What did you think about those two characters leading up over there? I know we're missing a lot of good chunks, especially from the episode 7, but we're just going to get into the character developments. How would you think about Eddie and the Dustin character? How they performed?
Well, they definitely got more into their relationship, their friendship in this the last episode. How
Hmm.
much even whenever Eddie told him, he's like, never change,
Hmm.
stay this way. Like the love they have for each other, and even up until Eddie's last moments, like they cared about each other so much that Dustin actually jumped back into the upside down to try to go save him. So
Right.
I love their whole development in this in the final episode.
I like Eddie. I like Eddie's character, his development, everything. He was just a fun character. Dustin, dude, God, for me, he took such a back seat in this season.
I don't
I mean,
understand how that happened.
it
He
was
was
just
pretty relevant. He wasn't no freaking Will
uh,
or anything, or even Mike. I felt like he was pretty relevant in the season.
to me, I feel like he's on the same level as Mike and Will. The only thing there was a difference was he
Hmm.
was being himself, I guess, representing a tool of being your own person, always staying true to who you are, and then just being Eddie's friend, and that was it for me. I didn't think he had any relevancy whatsoever, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, he went to go chase Eddie, yeah, but what for what? He was already gone. You know what I'm saying? Like it was all for nothing, except for having been there for Eddie at the last second. But that was, to me, it's just he took such a back seat that it was so irrelevant to me. It just didn't work with Dustin. I don't know. Would have made a difference if he was relevant? I don't think so. But I'm just saying, to me, he took a way back seat. Really didn't do anything for me. Eddie did because he was a new character. Was shocked. Were you shocked? I don't know about you. I was shocked about the ending for Eddie. I was just like, you're kidding me, right?
I
And I understood it, but at the same time, of all those people, and everybody's saying you're just mad because Nancy didn't go away. No, all those people, and that's the one that you choose to cut off. That was it. Come on, come on.
um I didn't have an issue with him being the one to get cut off, but I did have an issue with how they just looked over his death pretty quickly.
Uh
Like
huh.
he passes, he dies and everything, and then it just says 2 days later. And then it's
Oh
like
yeah.
no one's even talking about Eddie. Like Mike comes back
Hmm.
from with the rest of the guys from Cali or whatever the vacation he went to. Whenever
Yeah.
he comes back, he doesn't even ask about Eddie. It was just weird. It
The
felt
only one
like,
who showed any kind of emotion or mentions Eddie is Dustin, and that was it. I mean,
yeah,
and like I'm totally with you
Beth.
on that.
that whole
Like
thing,
they,
it just felt rushed. It felt like, ugh. Like, yeah,
yeah,
okay, Eddie's gonna be the one to go. We're gonna kill him off. But before that, he's gonna have that epic guitar solo, or playing Metallica.
heroic moment
Yeah,
before
that
he
very
gets
heroic
off.
moment. And then like the scene where he's like on the bike and he's driving away, or riding away, and he just stops. And he's like, no, no more running. He just, in that split moment, he just decides to stop running. And so he decides to stand and fight. He ends up dying. But I just felt like his death was like the scene, the moment between him and Dustin. I enjoyed that. Like
Yeah,
that I felt that. But like they legit just said 2 days later and just like just wiped him. Like none of
yeah.
the people that were with him, not even Steve or any of them, no one even like talked about him. It's like the whole thing was because of him in the beginning, when
Hmm.
the season first started. It was about him trying to protect him, keep him out of harm's way. And then it's just they just like swept it. It was weird. That part felt very rushed.
Yeah. Let's get into, before we get into 11, I want to get into like the Russian part, Russia with Hopper and Joyce and Murray. What did you appreciate what they were, not appreciate, but did you like that storyline? How they got out of the prison, went back to the prison, tried to destroy the demi organs or whatever you call them,
Yeah,
and
Demogorgon.
the mind flayer, I guess, type deal.
Yeah.
I just,
How
what
did you
was your
feel
thoughts
about
on
it?
Holland? Huh?
How did you feel about that?
I just thought it was a little cringy with me, with just going there, going back, and I'm like, oh, you're kidding me. Of course, all the guards and all the militia, Russian militia, is destroyed by these things.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just felt like they were pushing a storyline that was supposed to help the kids,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, I just wasn't believable for me as
Yeah.
far as them destroying those creatures. It just I don't know. It was like they were
Yeah.
looking for any kind of a storyline for that area for them to be there, and
Yeah.
it was just rushed. It really wasn't planned out, and yeah, didn't really work for me. I mean, I like seeing Hopper and Joyce, their relationship, their characters coming together and everything. And of course, we
Yeah.
like Murray's
Yeah.
cheap
Murray.
entertainment for the show, but
Yeah.
it was just just something there. Just I didn't click with me that much.
Yeah, that part I gotta agree with you on that too, because that's the whole storyline of, or at least that second part, of them breaking out and breaking back in, all that stuff. That whole thing felt a little weird, especially with Yuri being such a like
Weasel,
mischievous guy, like a
yeah.
weasel. And all this guy has to say, hey, you used to be a great man. I remember they used to talk about you back in the day, a great
Hmm.
man or whatever. And he's just like, oh,
Flip the
he's
switch,
right.
yeah,
Let
yeah.
me be a good guy. Let me go do that. That part did feel like, and that was another part that felt rushed. But for that and that those parts, honestly, all I needed was Murray with a flamethrower and
Yes,
seeing Hopper with that freaking Excalibur looking sword and just slicing
yeah.
up that Demogorgon. But before that, that whole scene with Yuri, it was just like, that was weird. Like, this guy
Hmm.
has been screwing him over the entire time, and all it takes is a little speech of talking about who he used to be to just snap him out of it. Like, that felt like, that's just you know I don't know. That part was weird.
Yeah, it was a little far fetched, a little bit.
Very, very
All of
far
a
fetched.
sudden, he
Yeah.
he turned to the good side.
Yeah. So
Um,
easily.
yeah. I also want to get into, we're talking about a little bit of episode 7. What did you think about, that episode? It was called Papa. What did you think about Papa? I think his name was Brenner,
Yeah.
Matthew Modine's character. What did you think about what that was all about, and when they were in the underground?
I mean, before everything went down with them getting figured out about the military,
Yeah.
I still have the same hate for Papa
Do you
throughout
really?
the whole thing, even at the end, whenever he unlocks Eleven's little neck thing that he
Neck
put on her.
collar, her
Yeah, her
shock
little
collar.
collar. And he's like, I
Yeah.
need you to understand that I did it for your own good. I was gonna be so upset if 11 said, I do understand. I do understand. Because I have no kind of feelings towards Pop to the guy that plays Papa. I did not care. I was glad that he's finally, hopefully, actually gone, and they're not going to bring him back. But that scene where 11 brings down the helicopter, I mean, that was badass.
Yeah,
But
that was pretty cool.
the whole thing, I mean, like her trusting him, like she turned her back to him whenever she blew that door open, like she wasn't going to expect that he was going to do something.
Yes, exactly.
And then
Yeah, you didn't think there was gonna.
instantly injects her and knocks her out. But
Mhm.
so everything that he's done, like from from the past and everything, I was just honestly glad that he's finally dead.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
I kind of agree with you there. He's done what the character's done. We get a little bit of more back history with him and her, and knowing how he's doing everything trying to get what was it, his name's Henry or whatever.
Yeah, Henry.
Henry back and everything, and just little stuff he's been doing.
Yeah.
But he was right. I don't think she was really ready for him yet.
Yeah.
But we didn't know that at that particular point in time. Now with the militia actually coming in and invading and taking them all out, dude. Oh my god. I don't know what it was, but I just like, are you kidding me? So they come down in that tunnel, right? It's just a regular tunnel going in and out. They blew the door with C4 to come in.
Mm-hmm.
And they got those tables, military police for Brenner, and they're just shooting them. And I'm just like, okay, they're all in a tunnel. Where none of you guys got any smoke grenades, any
Or grenades
flag
in general.
grenades? I mean, really, like that? They're all lined up, and they just got two shields, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, come on, like, did any of these guys play Call of Duty before? Like, come on, man. Nothing really set up except for put tables, in front of them. And then they took them out pretty quickly, I would say. They only had like, I counted, it was less than 10 men that they had and took out the whole station.
A lot
I'm just like,
a lot of that scene, the whole scene, the bunker and everything, a lot of it was kind of like, what? That doesn't really make sense. Like another part was after 11 took down the helicopter and she reunites with Mike and everything. They're all hugging. Oh, guys. It's like, bro, like the military is right below you.
yeah,
they're coming up. There's no time.
Bunker isn't that big.
Yeah. That time I was like, there is no time for greetings. Get in the freaking van and get out of there. I was like they were delaying way too much. And of course, as soon as they take off, that's when they pop up. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's when they pop up,
Okay.
Chase that Chevy van or whatever. And well, during that time too, right before we discovered one of my theories was right about the Will's painting.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
Will finally showed his painting, what he was doing. He showed it to Mike, showing him was basically them being D&D characters and have you not. So that was pretty cool. We saw Will crying at the very when he gave it to him, the big speech about 11 and him.
And about being different.
And about yes.
Wink, 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 wink.
So but then we also learn at the very end, he still feels the mind flare inside of him. He still feels everything. He said, he finally admit that, and I don't think none of them knew that. They thought everything was gone away for him, and he says no, he still can feel them, and it's not going to end. And anyways, what else was there? Did you like? I mean, what about Will and Jonathan's characters? Did you like how they had a little brotherly bond over there, stirring up the little, stirring up the the bath for 11?
At
the pizza
that
joint?
part, yeah, I know what you're talking about. No, Will yet again. His story just doesn't. I really don't really. It just goes to the wayside for me. I really didn't really.
Yeah.
It didn't really do much for me at all. I don't know if it did anything for you, because I know what he wants to say. I feel like the whole world knows what Will wants to say and what he needs to say, but they're just like dragging it on. And I thought,
don't forget, it is the 80s.
Yeah.
So don't forget, it is the 80s.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like how it is right now. It's so much. It was so much harder to admit that or have that out to what he's trying to express himself. Just express himself in general. Everybody. I mean, you heard the cliche term "be a man." You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So he's just, it was the time of the 80s, and that's just the way it was, kind of type
That
deal.
moment though, whenever he was talking to him while they were stirring up the water, I definitely thought that that was going to be the time that he at least opened up to his brother, but
Hmm.
he ended up not doing that. So
Yeah. Well, maybe the next season, which I think is the last season.
the biggest thing
Um,
we need to talk about is your background.
well, yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So let's talk
Okay.
about Max and Lucas. Let's get into Max and Lucas. What did you think about their character development and the relationship?
Loved it. Me and my wife have agreed that we feel that Lucas is, out of like acting wise, out of all the kids from season 1 to this one, I feel like his acting has taken the biggest leap. Whenever
Mm,
he's holding Max, whenever she's blind and she's saying she can't see and everything's all like broken on her,
uh-huh.
those that emotion that he gives whenever he's yelling to his sister Erica to call the cops or whatever, call the ambulance, like that felt so real. And I felt that even earlier in the season, whenever Vecna first gets a hold of her and he like lifts her up, and they're trying to bring her down by playing that music, that song Kate Bush, and whenever she does fall and collapse, the emotion in Lucas, whenever he's like, "Oh, I thought I lost you. I thought I lost you," like his acting took a huge leap from what he used to be till now. So
Mm-hmm.
him, like their relationship, they're a little like it's nice seeing Max finally open up, like whenever he asked, movie Friday, like, you want to go to
Oh
movie
yeah.
Friday,
Uh-huh.
and she finally accepted, and you know uh drew the little picture of them sitting at the movie theater together. It was like I enjoyed the relationship and how it grew.
Yeah, I totally agree with you guys. That was definitely a big highlight for me, was Max and Lucas's bond and characters, how they grew together. Speaking with Lucas, he was fighting with I forget what his name is, the preppy guy,
Oh yeah, I just call him the
and
jock.
yeah, the jock. He was
Yeah.
telling him, I wanted to be like you and everything, and be cool, be popular, and be into all these things, but now I just realized you're just basically a jackass, and
Yeah.
he's like, I'll never want to be like you, because he is in the high school, and that's how how kids at that time think.
Yeah.
I want to be this cool person. I don't want to be this D&D nerd type deal, but then realize, no, the best thing is to be who you are, to be your own person, to be unique. And
Yeah.
with Max, man, that was crazy how she admitted, like, she didn't get along with Billy, even though people thought she was crying over him and everything.
Yeah.
She was days where she wanted him to crash and get killed, and for him to go away, basically, because we knew that he was an asshole to her and a jerk, the way we saw in season 3.
Yeah.
So this just proved even more that how much of a jerk he really was, and how she just wanted him to go away. Didn't admit it until that particular moment when she was talking to Vecna type deal,
Yeah.
trying to get his attention. What did you think about her at the end? Vecna actually getting at her. What did you think about that?
And my reaction to that while it was happening, so whenever you see her levitating, like I'm thinking in my head, like, okay, he's got her, Lucas is gonna break out and somehow fix that freaking
The
that little,
headphones?
yeah, the headphones and get it on her. It's all going through my head, and then you see her levitate, you just see her arm snap, and I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
oh shit, like it's gonna happen. Then you
yeah.
see her leg snap, and then they show her
Oh yeah,
eyes like bleeding and everything. I was like, oh shit, this is gonna happen. But like
yeah.
whenever, you know, Vecna loses control of her and she falls, and that song that they play whenever Lucas is holding her, dude, man, that part got me.
No.
That part really got me. Like I said,
uh,
Lucas's acting was so great, and especially in that
mhm.
scene, the music playing, Max saying that she can't see, and she's just like terrified because everything that's going on, and then she ends up passing like right there in his arms. Like all that is crazy emotional, and that, man, that was like that was the probably the best part of the volume 2 so far. Well, volume 2, that was like, to me, that was the best part.
Yeah, that was probably the best part for me, possibly. My reaction was a little different. This is cold hearted. I know. I'm like,
Oh
yes,
god.
finally, one of them is gonna die. That's exactly what my reaction was. Finally, jeez, Louise, start cutting these kids out of here, man. So I'm like, finally, and then at the end, kind of type deal though, when he 11 got him at the end. I'm like, oh shoot, Then I'm thinking, well, wait, she's gonna be all bented and twisted still,
Yeah.
thinking like, ugh. And then you find out she was kind of blind and still talking, like, oh God, I actually felt bad. I was like, just finish her, Lucas. Take her out of her
Yeah.
misery. That's what I was thinking. And then 11's got the balls to kind of like bring her back. I'm like, oh no, why would you do that?
That's
Like,
another thing. They don't even explain that. Like, she just
like her
says
heartbeat
no.
or whatever.
Yeah, but all
But
she says is like,
she's like in a vegetation type deal, It's like
yeah,
in a coma. Like, why would you want her to wake up, even if you want she's gonna wake up? Why would you want her to wake up before she's healed, man? She's gonna be in
yeah,
so much pain with all her limbs.
just snapped.
Oh, just no. I don't want her to wake up. I want her to wake up after they're kind of healed, and fixed, and
Yeah,
all their surgeries are done. Because that's what's gotta happen with it. It's like, no way, don't wake her up right now. You don't want
yeah,
her to wake up now. Of course, did they say? I mean, she is, I guess, alive, but at the same time, 11 couldn't find her in the darkness type deal. You know what I'm
yeah.
talking
They
about?
show her in that scene where she's
Calling
just out
her.
there, yeah, calling her.
So I
So
don't
she
know.
is
Maybe
like, I guess, lost. She's just like in a coma. So she's trying to
must
find
be.
her. Yeah.
Hmm.
But like
So we'll see. But
that whole thing
uh-huh.
felt like the whole ending felt like rushed. And right after that they show, you know everything looks like everything's like going good, and then you start seeing that, like, what looks like snow, but it's actually just uh
So right after 2 days later, you think
yeah,
that's when everything just got rushed
yeah,
and tried to
like,
end the episode.
yeah, where if it just felt rushed. Like, I didn't feel Eddie got the proper send off. Like, yeah, he had that moment with Dustin, but like nobody else even cared about him. Like, no one, they didn't show. I wanted them.
Hmm.
I wanted to see the scene where Dustin told everyone. I wanted to see that. I wanted to see where Dustin told them what happened to Eddie. Like, that
I
didn't even
was
happen.
I was thinking that was going to happen, but he just told his uncle, and that was it.
Yeah,
And I'm thinking, oh, okay, he's just going to get up in front of everybody and just start spilling what happened to Eddie, and
yeah,
he helped save from the earthquake, whatever they were going to call it. But they didn't. He just told his uncle. He just only told his uncle, and I'm like, ugh, now everybody still thinks that, like they reported, like in the news, that it was all because of Eddie. Still, that he
yeah,
was still on the loose, and still, they're still he's still wanted and looking for him, and all this was because of Eddie. I'm like, wow, they're just slamming his name, and
yeah.
Dustin's kind of, and not just Dustin, but the other kids didn't look like they gave her shit. They didn't give one ounce of anything about it. There's like, oh,
Mm-mm.
okay. Yeah, he'll take the
One
fall.
and one scene that like really like pissed me off is like, we don't even need this right now. Like, I'm fine with this storyline, but save this for like the next season. Was Robin and her little thing that she's got with that girl.
Yeah.
Dude, I
Uh-huh.
was so pissed. Like, okay, Robin, I understand Robin's got this thing for this girl,
Uh-huh.
but they just threw it in there. Like,
Yeah.
Eddie just died. Everything's still recovering. Max is recovering. Like, it's all about the core group right now. I do not give a crap about Robin trying to get a relationship with this girl. I really wish they would just left that part out and just added that to like the next season, like in the beginning or some shit. But like, I just didn't understand why they decided to even throw that in there. And like, she's
Uh-huh.
talking to her and everything, and then you just see Steve go, "Yeah, it's happening, man." It's like,
Yeah.
that part was like unnecessary, especially after everything that just happened with Eddie
Yeah.
and Max. It was like, that's that. Definitely didn't need that.
I didn't like either too until that part 2 days later. You saw any law enforcement in those 2 episodes whatsoever.
Yeah.
Whatsoever. No law enforcement in Hawkins whatsoever until the 2 days later came about and they're trying to fix the earthquake mess that they're saying. You had
Yeah.
no law enforcement whatsoever there. I'm like, okay, there's been series of murders happening there, 3 murders happening in that town, and there's no law enforcement to be found.
And the media still blames freaking Hellfire.
Yeah, the
I
Hellfire
couldn't
Club.
believe that. It's like the
Yeah.
media still thinks all this is happening because of Hellfire.
Mhm.
Oh my
So,
god.
how did you think about them leaving you open for the next season? You know, the gates are still open and it starts snowing. Did you like that? Did you not like it?
I mean, I mean, I was a little like split on this because so they are going to make or is it going to be another season, or
It's
have they
gotta
even
be.
announced it?
Yeah.
I honestly feel like it needs to be just a movie. Like, how much more can they do? How are they going to stretch out 8 episodes, an hour each? How are they going to, like, what else are they going to add? Like,
Mhm.
everything's already set up. Vecna's already starting to destroy Hawkins from like the inside out, and it's
Right.
like there's not really going to be much buildup. I feel like they need to just do like a 2-hour movie and just end it right there, because there's not
Indeed.
much you can do. Are they just gonna keep dragging this on and on and on? Where they're gonna kill Vecna and then find out there's another core member or another core
Mhm.
thing? I feel like the next thing they got to do is a movie. I don't know how they're gonna stretch, you know, everything out into 8 episodes. Like, what else is there to dig into? We already know the background
Right.
of everything. So
Yeah, I agree
I
with
mean,
you there.
it ended the way it ended. You know, I would have loved to see it everything in this season. I would have loved for Vecna just to die already, but they ended up just dragging it out for another season. But
And I think that should
I
be
just
it. Yeah,
yeah,
I think
that's
that
got to be
next
it.
season should be it. Not saying it was bad or anything. I'm just saying, I think that's enough stories.
Yeah,
Um,
they're gonna start just dragging this,
they
and
just
it's
start
gonna
dragging. They
kill
don't
it.
want to do
It's
a
gonna turn
Walking
into
Dead.
Walking Dead. I was just gonna say that.
Do
Yes.
not do that.
If so for this season, this was, in my
Yeah,
opinion, the
graded
best.
as a season. Uh-huh.
In my opinion, this was the best season I've seen so far,
Okay.
and it's hard because season one
Mhm.
is really up there. I love season one, and this one definitely beat it out, despite the ending feeling a little bit rushed. The emotion and everything in this season was like next to none. Like,
Yeah.
I felt like this season definitely was the best season of Stranger Things so far. That's why I'm
Mhm.
kind of like, if they would have just ended it right here, I would have been so happy. If they would have just killed Vecna and just scraped it all right here, this would have been it. Like, I would have been happy with that. I really
Mhm.
hope they don't Game of Thrones this and just ruin it with the final season. I said it, Dave.
Well, speaking of that, with the Game of Thrones stuff, I'm getting tired of you people. So I'm going to be just like you guys. I like this season. It was good. But the last episode, they left a bad taste in my mouth. And I was so disappointed on a lot of these things. And no, it wasn't the best season because of that last episode, because who survived, because of that lame ass fight. It was a bad taste, and I'm not even looking forward for the next season. That's how bad taste of it is. Just like how you Game of Thrones fans, so-called fans, say season 8 didn't do it for you and left a bad taste. Well, this sucker left a bad taste, and it was the last episode. It just didn't work for me whatsoever. So no, for me, it's a no. It's not the best season for me. If
Yeah,
season
but the
3 is the
difference
best season.
is the difference
The
is
difference is
we still got another season. Game of Thrones
this.
ended it
But I'm
horribly
saying
on their
I'm not.
final
I'm not
season.
excited to see the next
You know
season.
what? Yeah,
I'm not even excited whatsoever to go see it.
we talked about this. I think in our at the helm, when we were saying that whenever season 3 ended, we weren't even thinking
Talking
about
about
season
it.
4, not even
No.
talking about it. And then it comes out and it's starting to get all this hype. So I go check it out, and it just become, to me, is the best seasons, so far that's come out.
Mhm.
So I mean, who knows?
I'm not saying
How
it
the
was totally bad or anything. It just, I had more fun in season 3. I mean, I really did. I had fun with it. I just had so much fun with it. It wasn't the horror like it was supposed to be, like the first one. This one does get the horror back, but the third one, I just had so much fun. I wasn't, it wasn't a horror thing for me. It was just a fun season for me. I don't know how to describe it. It didn't have so many different storylines like this one did. I just thought everybody was way too spread out, and they were making more of a big deal on some characters than really it was. I just, I mean, they took their time. They tried to make it epic as much as they could. Congrats to them. It's just there's a lot of things I didn't appreciate. I thought it was way too long on everything. On everything, it was just way too long. It wasn't just the last episodes. It was the whole series was just way too long, too in depth. Relax a little bit with it. So, and the last episode, I'm sorry, it just didn't work for me, folks. It really didn't. That fight was so lame. I just couldn't. I don't know. It was bad. It reminded me of Ray versus Kylo. How bad it was. With that being said, if you enjoyed our review, go ahead and give us a woo, woo right down there for David and Rich. This has been our Stranger Things season 4 review. Yeah. How's it going, everybody? This is David Rich here. We just want to say a special thank you because we reached 100 subscribers, and we also hit the 2K mark on one of our Stranger Things videos. Was a reaction to Volume 2 trailer. We just want to say special thank you. So we told you before we had a shot when we got our first K. So now we got 2K and 100 subscribers. We just want to say thank you so much. I don't know what else to say, but just thank you. Hell of a time doing this, and I'm glad you're here with the ride with us. Rich, anything you got to say?
No, just thank you for all of your support. I'm looking forward to what's to come. We're getting better. We're trying to improve with our editing and everything. So we're looking forward to the future and what's to come. And
Yep,
thank you guys for being
absolutely.
along for the ride.
Yes, absolutely. And plus, if you guys want, please suggest some stuff for us to do, whether it's older movies you want us to do in our extremely late reviews, we'll do them. Or anything else you say, hey, I think you should react to this trailers, anything.
Or
Put
even
your comments down below to see what we could do.
Yeah, even a news topic you want us to talk about at the helm, our new segment that we do. Yeah, just let us know.
And if you even got 2 cents about it, write in, shoot us an email over a DM, and just write out what you think about the situation, and we'll let it know on the video of what you personally thought about that situation, about whatever topic it is that you had written down for us. All right, but this is a special thank you to everybody out there. Cheers and salute. As always, David Rich, thank you so much. We out.